Hello, my love. It is Tuesday. It's tea time, and that means we're going to talk. This month, we're talking about LARP, live action role playing. What is LARP? It's what it says on the tin. We're role playing live, and there's action, whether that action is just talking or actively hitting people with sticks. There's a scale where on one side we have hit people with sticks, and the other side we have talk. Most LARPs are going to fall somewhere on this scale. You have parlor LARPs that are all talking all the time, and you resolve conflicts either through actually resolving them through speech, or you play rock, paper, scissors, or you pull a card, highest number wins. They resolve conflict through non-violent means. And then on the other extreme end of the spectrum, you have LARPs that have very small character creation requirements, very small kit requirements, and literally the whole point of the LARP is to go and hit people with sticks. It is to run around, get your wacky bats in, that's a technical term by the way, get a workout in, and go home with all of your aggressions having been taken out and you feeling light and lively once more. Most LARP events range in duration from 1 to 6 days. I think some of the bigger LARPs are like 4 to 6 days long. I've never been to Be Colleen or Drakenfest, either the European or the American version, but I know that there are large, big budget LARPs that tend to go a little bit longer than a weekend. Like Starfall is one that I would consider a blockbuster LARP, and I think their run is for 4 days. There are LARPs that happen once a year. There are LARPs that happen once a month. There are LARPs that happen every weekend. There are LARPs that are set in fantasy medieval worlds. There are LARPs that are set in a zombie apocalypse nightmare. There are LARPs that are set in galactic space. There are LARPs that are set in Mad Max post-apocalyptic world. I think there is a LARP somewhere in Europe that is set in Warhammer Fantasy. You want to be a vampire? There's a LARP for that. You want to play a pirate? There's a LARP for that. You want to play a character from the Dresden Files? There's a LARP for that. There are LARPs for a lot of things. There are LARPs that happen in the woods, and there are LARPs that happen in castles and hotels. There was a time that I thought only the ROLE player D&D type people would be people who liked LARP, but there's an awful lot of crunch to be crunched. I think the crunchy D&D players might also, have a place. I'm not one of them, so I can't say for certain, but I do have those friends who are super crunch conscious, and I am so very grateful for them because they help me build my character and stuff in the best way possible, which I wouldn't be able to do because I avoid math everywhere that I can. There's a lot of different LARP rules too, and they change and evolve with the ages. There are additions of LARP rules, and it can be confusing. There's so much crunch that you can learn if that's your thing, and there are ways to play a LARP and not worry about the rules, really. I highly suggest if you're going to do that you get a crunchy rules friend. Nom nom nom, crunch crunch crunch. They eat that stuff for breakfast. I am one of those people who I want to go to LARP to make cool costumes and camp out and hang out with my friend and do vibes time. I want to sit around a big old campfire with my tea, listening to the sounds of nature with the cool breeze playing in my hair. I used to be one of those people who would go off and run off and do the combat thing, but it hurts me. I have medical things, and my pain, getting poked in the arm makes me want to die, much less being hit in the arm. So I don't do combat anymore without wearing armor. And if you don't like getting hurt, you should wear armor too. Team Clank. LARP is an amazing way to leave your world behind and put all of your worries and stresses and emotions on the back burner while you become someone else. street racing in broad daylight. You get to design your character for LARP. You get to work within whatever rules of whatever LARP you're going to, and you get to make up who you want to be. You get to put the suit of a different person, a different personality on for the duration of the event and refresh yourself. Let your real persona, your real person, your real life LARP persona, as it were, have a little rest. It's fun, is what it is. LARP has been portrayed in mainstream media as an extremely nerdy pursuit, to say the least. LARP has some Venn diagram overlap with Ren fairs. You'll find a lot of the same people who go to Ren fairs tend to also like LARPing. I wonder why people who want to dress up in fantastical costumes and go out and play in the dirt and have a good time also want to dress up in fantastical costumes and play in the dirt and have a good time. It's almost like they're very similar things. If you're a Ren Fair person and you've never LARPed before, you may ask around your friend circle and see if anybody has anything that you can wear your cool outfits to and go and pretend to be a character for a while. LARP is an opportunity to play. As adults, we don't get enough playtime. Kids get to run around and pretend that they are something that they are not, and no one bats an eye. But if you do that as an adult in the real world, people are going to judge you and be concerned about you, and like you can't just go waving a foam sword and hitting anybody you want unless you go off to the designated play space where you get to pretend to be another person and run around and hit your friends with sticks like, we used to do. It's silly, but it's also fulfilling and it's restful and it's make-believe. And we all need a little bit of make-believe in our lives. We all could probably use a little bit more escapism in our lives, especially in this day and age. We can go and pretend to be a healer who can magically take somebody's pain away. We can go and pretend to quest as an honorable paladin who does their best to follow the edicts handed down by their goddess. We can pretend to make a difference, because a lot of the time, the difference that we make in the real world isn't super visible, and that can be really disheartening. Coming home from a weekend event with a story about being able to let the kids run off and save the wolves that other people were just going to go and exterminate, it's a really fulfilling thing. And it's just make-believe. But the dopamine doesn't discriminate. The serotonin doesn't discriminate. You can go and do magnificent things in a make-believe world and feel just as fulfilled by it as getting Employee of the Month, maybe more. So, do you LARP? What kind of LARPs do you play? If you don't LARP, what kind of LARP would you consider playing? What setting would you want to play in? Let me know. Thank you for watching. I appreciate every second of your attention that you give me. Make sure you drink some water, do something fulfilling for yourself, and craft a life worth living. Take care of my friend, and I promise that I will do my very level best to take care of yours. Oh, just a heads up, in case you're new here, I want to manage your expectations. This is not a LARP channel. Not every video here is going to be about LARP. All the videos this month are going to be about LARP. A lot of videos are about costuming. There's going to be some bookbinding. There's some miniature painting. It's crafts. It's a lot of crafts. So if you want to stay for that, you can subscribe. Elsewise, just check out the playlists. As I put new videos, I try to be really religious about putting them in the correct playlist. But don't subscribe if all you're here for is LARP, because that's not all you're gonna get. And I would really like if you subscribe to actually come and watch things. That would mean a lot to me. But if all you're here for is LARP, please don't do that. I appreciate you and your view just as you are. Thank you.